You know, it's really frustrating. Yeah.
You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag.
Good morning. Got it strapped down, missing one strap. Keep in mind, as I'm putting this together, I'm spraying 150 acres. I'm not a big guy out there running 100 miles a day, spraying thousands of acres. So that's kind of the difference. Got this strapped, This is only gonna be floated when I am filling the sprayer. So otherwise the water is just gonna be in there. But that was the best strap job I could think of. Got the pump, figuring out fittings, gotta go to Larchmont. But I gotta get this strap down and moved because the milk truck can't make the corner, especially not with that in the way, so. And he's supposed to be here in a little bit. But went to test run the pump, that wouldn't run. That was all stuck in there. So took the front cover off. Now we got some turn. So we're good there. This is an electric start. So you hook a battery to it. And it's got a starter and it's got a key. And everything's good to go. So gotta see if that runs, and then I gotta go get parts once I can move this. Ooh, yeah, buddy. Make sure I'm primed up on some fuel. The fuel that's in here, I don't know when that was last used. I need a new fuel piece there. We're good there. That's always a plus. Electric start's pretty cool. This pump is overkill, but everything on this trailer up until now I've had kicking around, so that is why I'm using what I got. Swung in here, Larchmont irrigation pipe over in Lexington. Pretty sweet place. We've done a lot of business with them over the years as far as when we grew cranberries. Yeah, the world of irrigation out this way is crazy. My brother pulls so much irrigation. He's actually gonna have me fly the drone so he can take a picture of a place that he's working on to pull some irrigation pipe, and it's just nuts. I forget how many irrigation heads he said it was gonna be, but it was absolutely insane. Can we go this way? I don't think so. I think that's a one-way. But since 1949, Larchmont irrigation pumps. So I think we've bought every single pump that we have from them, all our irrigation line, the irrigation guns, the cranberry supplies. Done a lot of business with them over the years. So got all my fittings, great people to work with. We'll head back to the farm and throw this together. Somebody asked previous video to do an update on how the cover crop or the seedings went. Here we are. Clover, fescue, a little bit of grass growing up from before. It actually looks absolutely killer. It's supposed to be like 90 for the next few days. Well, coming up this week. This stuff should really get going. We should see, hopefully we see some rain. I know but that would help this stuff actually grow. As you see, it looks awesome. So, like I said, everything got seeded 2 ways. I wish we could go just one pass. That's where I want to get to, but for right now, that's what we're doing, and I'm very pleased with it. Very, very pleased. So here is what $700 and something buys you. Some fittings, some more fittings, some more fittings, some hose. Doesn't get you very much. That's already was mine, so pretty much everything in this box except for the food I just ate. I guess these aren't really cheap, but they should work pretty slick. So got it all figured out. Let's throw it together. Gaining on the trailer, but we're actually moving some dry cows out to pasture, which we use pasture as a way of physical activity pretty much. Plus cows on pasture are pretty efficient as long as the grass is growing. So we do put dry cows and some heifers out on pasture. We'll go check in on that. So like I said, we use pasture as like a physical activity. If cows get too fat when they calve, or leading up to calving, causes a lot of health issues after calving. So that's why we used to grow corn out there, and we fenced it in and made it into pasture. Well, they got it lined up on one side, electric fence on the other side. So we will see if we got a rodeo or if they'll go right to pasture. There is a hole over there. Might go fill that hole, otherwise chasing them around. Cows are a lot better. Heifers kind of do whatever they want. So we got 3 pastures. We really need to make that big one into its own, into 2 pastures. Then you rotate them around. So grass growth is huge this year.
Hey, get up!
That went uneventful, which is good. You're on. Yep. So. It's definitely on. It's definitely on. I can hear it cracking. So the top wire is hot just so that they don't lean over and destroy the fence.
Hey, you want to turn it off for 1 minute?
It's off.
Okay, 1 second.
Problem is we have deer that jump over the fence and rip that line down, and then the cows make a mess of everything. So Yeah. That is the reasoning. When I was picking up parts this morning for irrigation, the pipes and fittings, the guy really wanted to come deer hunting, and I told him, you can't. So everybody asks, but it's a state park, and there's very little land in Carlisle you can actually hunt on.
You can turn it on now. Thank you.
Alrighty, we'll get back to doing what I was doing. Cows will settle in, and we'll probably add some heifers to it next week just to keep up with the grass growth. And then we got more pasture across town that we got to put heifers in at some point. We got to do some fencing there. Yeah. We are ready to party. Just need some clamps, battery, some bungee cords. But ready to party. Everything's plumbed in. So just need a battery to run the motor. Oh, we do need that gasket thing. Ended up, yeah, we need hose clamps, probably more hose clamps. So this is what I did. Fill pipe wrapped around, just added that extension on so it can sit in there. Don't have to worry about it. We gotta put a hose clamp on it. When I'm mixing in here, I'll unroll it and I'll just run it out and put it in the top. When we're loading the sprayer, we'll just run it out, load the sprayer. Plenty of pump capacity. Got my valves shut right now. That's gonna do it for at least this. We're gonna go. So here we are, 7320. Has had fuel issues in the past. We always thought it was the connection here. We did put new ends. I was told that but connecting them together is bad. You should run a new wire. Alrighty. Was told that this pump, they're only meant for like 5,000 hours. After that, they're pretty much lived its life. We got almost 10,000 hours. So what's going on is it has fuel issues in the solenoid. So I was hoping broken wire. Check the continuity of the wire from there back to the controller. So popped that off, checked it. Everything looked good there. Check the resistance of the solenoid. It's supposed to be 9 ohms, and that's 0. So no resistance there. Thing is, when the tractor's running, or when we were trying to start it, which that should mean that this should be open because that's your fuel shut off, I get no power across this. So I gotta look into that some more. Narrowed down my issues of life. This box that controls, well, you can see engine control, 12 volt. It's underneath that panel. It has 12 volts going to it. The 2 wires that I checked that go up to here for continuity, they checked out good. This, I'm still up in the air as far as if it's bad or not. The resistance number that I got against what I can get off of it is a little different. I cannot get any voltage on here. So I said maybe the wires are bad and something's just funky. Went back and checked voltage at the connection up here. Nope, half a volt to volt. It's supposed to be 12 volts coming out of that. So I have a feeling that this controller is junk. But on Monday, the local deer dealer did reach out to me after watching the video of me being very unhappy that calling for parts and not getting any support there. So on Monday, I'll give them a call and we'll see what they have to say as far as supporting this. I have a feeling they're going to be good. They did tell me that they wanted to support more agriculture and not that it wasn't a focus on lawnmowers. They hired some new people. So maybe they turned a leaf and we're going to be good. since, yeah, stuff with electronics, you need some support. And I got friends that are not local that are deer technicians, or have been deer technicians. So I got some sources like that that help me out. But I figured I will give them a shot as far as helping me diagnose before I actually spend. The pump's $2,700, I think, and this controller I think is like $1,600. So yeah, that would explain why we're having issues. But we'll rewire it, we'll figure out the issue, solve that, and then this is getting rewired all the way back to that controller with new ends, since I was told that connecting them across gives it different resistance, which I know that, but it plays funky games with those pumps. So yeah, that is where I'm at. So that's probably enough for today though. Maybe. Appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing. Some wrenching. I'm gonna probably continue on wrenching after I put this camera down. Maybe I'll film some, maybe I won't, I don't know. So an update of what's going on in the driveway. Haven't even touched that. This has a solenoid issue. There's something going on in there. We don't need it, and I'm too busy, so that is why it's sitting there. This needs to get fixed in the next few days. The flat tire that I battled all winter has not gone flat. The tire that wasn't battling me all winter is flat, so we got to fill that up. It's a slow enough leak. I got the row dividers or whatever they're called, got them to replace, and I got to figure out my blower paddle issue. I got blower paddles. Probably pull the cutter housing out and check the pan and everything else like that. Maybe switch it with my parts one, because that one is good. Plus I think pulling that out is going to make changing the blower paddles way easier. We can pull it out in like an hour. We can pull it out, put it back in like an hour and a half. So probably going to do that. I know it's beat up. Somebody hit some things. This has been bent like that since I got it. I should probably straighten that. But I got a 300 head that's out back that's wider. So that's a 2.2 head that I'd like to invest my time and money into this summer so I can have a wider pickup. And as far as this, parts will be here before 10:30 a.m. Monday. So I haven't fully decided if I'm going to split everything forward, or somebody said you can pull the motor, jack the frame up, and lower the front axle, and it will come out, which that does mean I got to take off all the sheet work or sheet metal, which might not be that bad. I was waiting on them to respond back as far as what is better and easier. That might be the easiest way, actually. There ain't much to it. So I appreciate you guys watching though, liking, subscribing. But that's gonna do it for today. I'll catch you guys on the next video, which is probably gonna be working on this thing. So should be pretty good to go after that, I hope. Knock on wood. So thank you, have a good one. You know, it's really frustrating. Yeah. The pump's giving weird numbers back though. I'm pretty sure we got a pump issue that maybe it's intermittent. But we'll run new wires and go from there. Maybe the relays were in there were telling the computer, the controller, not to do something. But I don't know. I figured the guy I was talking to about stuff here, he said controllers, nobody really knows what they do. And so he said the controller's probably not sending any voltage because it doesn't see the resistance of the pump, so it's not telling it to run at all. And I said, okay. And he said, so that the pump might be bad and the controller just is looking bad because doesn't have the pump to associate with it at that point. I said, okay. But then I started up and it runs. Moved. It's right there. So, yeah, it shut back off. Won't run. Good order pump. But I knew that was coming, no matter what. Pump's got to be the issue. Controller did what it was supposed to, but pump must be sending bad signals or something, and it must have sat long enough that it worked for a few minutes. Now that it ran for a little bit, the solenoid went bad again. Yeah. Alrighty. Now we're done with the video. See you on the next one.